and welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be answering one of the most frequently asked questions I get here, which is how do I get my game to look like this, like very realistic, very kind of Sims 3, like I would say. I've seen a lot of people say that my game looks like Sims 3. So yeah, we're going to be very briefly covering the mods and overrides I use, and also looking at some of my favorite and most used build and buy custom content, because that is also really important when considering how I get my game to have this very Sims 3 realistic Maxis mix look. So we'll start with the overrides. You might have noticed if you've seen my videos before, or even if you're new and you're looking at my game right now, that my terrain texture is very different to the standard terrain texture. This is an override by a winged llama. The Sims 4's default texture is so flat and cartoony and very basic, and I'm not a fan of it at all, and this override adds so much detail and depth, and it does look like grass from The Sims 3. You may also notice that not currently, but my backgrounds are pretty empty. Like, the world is very devoid of things, and there are these trees that I have custom placed myself, but other than that it's very bare. This is Willow Creek, but it doesn't really look like Willow Creek. This is another mod by a winged llama called Empty Willow Creek and Newcrest. It just makes everything invisible so that you have a fresh slate to work with, and because I'm making a save file, I need it. So you don't need this mod unless you're trying to do something like that, or if you just if you just want the world to look completely empty. The next two mods I use are for lighting purposes. So I used to use the no blue, no glow mod, but I swapped to the better in-game lighting mod by northernsiberiawinds. I honestly can't notice that much of a difference between the two, so pick whichever one you think appeals to you the most. I also use softerhaze's lighting override, which has kind of got a complicated installation process. There is a tool online that I will be linking that installs it for you and makes it so much simpler. I honestly can't recommend this mod enough. The sunsets and sunrises and the red light that like bleeds into your Sims windows, which you can see like on my game right now, it is so beautiful. I can't live without this mod in my game. Next we have my reshade. I use folkbreeze's soundless gshade preset. I don't recommend that you use gshade over reshade because of a controversy that occurred involving malware like a year ago, I think. As of right now, there's no malware in gshade, and the only reason I still use it personally is because this preset doesn't work in reshade. I have been looking to switch when I find a preset I like more, but as of right now, this is what I'm using. However, I would recommend that you use reshade, and there are plenty of YouTube tutorials on how to install reshade, how to get presets working, and even videos on how to make your own custom preset. Next up, we have my UI, which you will notice is blue. The reason that it is the Sims 2 and Sims 3 blue is because I'm using Somatically's Sims 2 UI overhaul mod. Love it, can't recommend it enough. As an avid hater of the Sims 4's attempt at minimalism, this UI overhaul makes me very happy. For the next segment of the video, we're going to be talking about where I get my custom content. I get asked this a lot, and I think a lot of the time the people who are asking me this question don't really have much of an understanding of how custom content works, because it's a very broad question and it's difficult to answer. But I will try to explain where I get most of my custom content from and recommend where you can find custom content from. So I am the kind of person to go on sketchy websites to find a piece of CC that I really want, but I don't recommend anyone who isn't comfortable in their ability to identify malware do this. I was 11 years old and downloading anything and getting viruses on my family computer. With that being said though, I get a lot of my custom content from Pinterest. I used to use Tumblr a lot, but it's hard to find CC on there honestly, so I mostly just type in keywords on Pinterest and scroll for ages. I do still use some Tumblr CC finds, and I really like the following blogs. I will be showing them on screen now. Another way that I find CC is just keeping track of mutuals and people I follow on Tumblr. While the search engine is really bad, Tumblr's social aspect is easy to keep up with, and a lot of blogs are where can I find friendly. There are also places on Tumblr where you can ask for help in the community with finding anything that you are looking for. Lastly, as like another note, I would say if you're looking to find like CC that is like different, or if you want something really obscure, get over your fear of the Sims resource. I know nobody wants to hear that. It's a horrible website. I hate it bad. But at some point I had to accept that there was good CC on there, and there are probably ways to avoid the ads and wait time, but I have yet to figure out how to do that. So I personally just endure it. But a lot of retired CC creators whose work I like are published on there, and a lot of Pinterest links lead to there as well. Probably my favorite custom content creator is Freak on Tumblr. They call themselves that. They convert items from Life is Strange games, and they're also a really sweet person. I have pretty much all of their CC, and it fits in really well with the Sims' style. Everything's like cozy and warm and realistic with a lot of detail. It really makes my game feel like the 2000s. My next favorite creator is Around the Sims 4. I actually can't get over the amount of custom content they have. They've been making CC since like 2011 or something, because I remember downloading their stuff for The Sims 3. It's all very useful in game. I can't even show all of it here, but they make sets for everything. Every overlooked item in the game, things you wouldn't even think that you would need, and then you see it and you're like, why don't we have that in the game already? I really struggle with finding custom content for community lots in particular, and realistic small clutter details, and Around the Sims 4 always has my back with that. Like I said, they have so much custom content on their page, and they've been making CC for a really long time, so it's really great to have someone who is making stuff for things that get really overlooked. Softpine is similar to Freak, where they convert a lot of Life is Strange items. Again, this fits in really well with the Maxis mix vibe I go for, and while I don't think they make much CC anymore, what they have got is really useful with world building, especially their outdoor items. Another creator I really like is SYB. I believe they used to make a lot of alpha CC, but now mostly do Maxis Match. I don't have all of their stuff because they lean a little bit out of the mix vibe I like, but they have certain sets like the dorm room and scrub and stuff that is so useful in creating houses with little detail and a little more wear and tear. Attic Window at Dawn is another creator whose CC is very cozy and very warm. I love their style, and while I haven't found a way to use it in my game yet, I highly recommend their CC. It's really nice, and from what I've seen, they are putting custom content out pretty regularly, so I would keep an eye out for anything that catches your eye if there's nothing here that you like. Before I close off here, I'll be very briefly showing you all some other random CC items I adore that can add a little bit more realism to the exterior of your Sims homes. Similarly, I'll be showing you the build catalog very briefly. This is pretty simple and pretty easy to explain. I use basically the same items over and over again. I'm not as crazy about windows and doors. So the windows I use most often are the sunset window set from, I cannot say their name, I believe it's Mink Sims, and also the sunroom door by someone whose username I also can't pronounce, so I'll just put it on the screen. There's no accessible download link for this, so I will have a separate download link available in the description. Most of my terrain paints are by Helen Sims. They're realistic and pretty textured. I like to use them kind of sparsely when I'm building so that everything still feels within the realm of the Sims, because they are kind of more alpha and very detailed. And lastly, while I don't currently use a lot of tree overrides, I do use some, and these are by also this creator that I'm putting on the screen. Now, I know this has been a really short video and I would love to stay here forever showing you guys all the custom content I have in my game that helps me fulfill the realistic Life is Strange aesthetic that I adore. I will be putting some honorable mentions up on the screen of creators whose CC I also use that I didn't feature in this video, but most of this I show in my builds, and I will always include links to CC, and I also accept where can I finds on my Tumblr at hallwayheart, so please feel free to ask me questions on there. It can take me a little bit to reply because I am a busy woman. I'll definitely do more CC showcases in the future if there's anything that catches my eye. I will also be doing some more in-depth videos on how I achieve realistic gameplay as I develop my save file. Now, before I close off completely, someone on Tumblr or on YouTube, I can't remember, requested that I show how I remove build by CC from my game. So I'm going to show you. It is very tedious. I don't know how other people go about it. I imagine that some people just completely delete like their entire mods folder, or they just take out stuff by name. I'm more particular about things, and because I am building a save file, I need to be careful about what gets deleted and what stays. So the way that I go about it is kind of roundabout and very, like I said, very tedious, and it's not going to be for everyone. So if you don't have like a whole day to yourself to really get into it and figure it out, and I do this fairly regularly as someone who has a lot of custom content in their game, this may not be for you, but I'm going to show you anyway in case it does help you. So to do this, you're going to need Sims 4's tray importer. It's very easy to install. I will try and find like a video on YouTube on how it works to link to you guys, because I don't have time to explain it and I also don't want to. But I use this to get my CC out of my game. So what I'll do is I'll go on an empty lot, just completely bare, barren lot, and I'll usually filter to show all. My game will take a while to load though, because I do need to clear some stuff out, so I'm not going to do that right now. But usually I'll filter everything to show all, and then I'll just start dragging things out that I don't like. Anything that I don't want in my game, I'll place down. So for example, maybe I don't want this fridge, I'm gonna put this here. And I don't want this fridge, and this one, and this. Obviously you want to filter it to showing only custom content as well, or else you're gonna have a lot more to sort through. So make sure that you filter to custom content only and you hide maxis. So I'll do this, and usually I will fill up the whole lot, like every spare bit of space I have, and then I will click on the save to my library, save lot, and then save it. I will then go to Sims 4 tray importer. I will scroll through where the custom content is, obviously. I'll right click, open show folder, and then just delete it. Just delete anything. And that is it. I hope that you found this video insightful or helpful. I don't think I really introduced anything new. I think you were all probably very well aware of what custom content I'm using and what mods and overrides I'm using, because they are quite popular. This was more so for the people who maybe weren't as aware or are newer to this kind of thing. I would also like to say before I leave that we all have different styles. It's okay if my game doesn't look like yours. It's okay if you don't want your game to look like mine. It's also okay if you like different custom content, if you have a different style. we should all be courteous to one another about this kind of thing. Some people like their game really vanilla, and some people really like to have a very modded game, and that's fine, and there doesn't need to be conversation and anger around this. But yeah, that's all I have to say. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next one.